I'll use quite a bit.
Good.
Or I'm
Use as
planning
much as you need.
to use quite a bit.
Good.
Thirsty. Hi, Dan. Tschida-Reuter actually is. That's how you pronounce my last name.
Thank you.
I know
I'm sorry.
It's complicated. Very few people get it right. Welcome, well, I'm glad to be back. Thank you again, Fran, for inviting me to come back. As Fran mentioned, since I was here in January, I've actually gone to the Eau Claire PFAC group that they have in the health system. And next week, I'm planning to go to the Menominee PFAC group, and then back to the Eau Claire PFAC group, and then on the 21st of April, I'll be engaging the La Crosse PFAC group. So I've been making my rounds and really trying to engage as much as possible with the patients. If you don't remember, I'm the product manager for the patient portal. So I'm the product owner for our patient portal, both web and mobile. So it's really important for me to engage with you all and get your input on how we can improve the patient portal and make it as easy and the best tool possible for you to help you on your journey. So today I'd like to talk to you about a project that we have going on and kind of show you what we're doing, talk about our vision, what we're looking to create right now. And I'm looking to you all to help validate that the path we're going on seems like the correct path, and it is something that you would find helpful, an improvement on what we currently have. So I'll get into this in a minute. I just want to give you some context to what's happening. At Mayo Clinic, currently, if you're a patient in Rochester, you're accessing a patient portal that's supported by GE, and GE is the EHR that we are using in Rochester. However, in the health system, and in Arizona and in Florida, those patient portals are supported by a company called Cerner, and Cerner is a different EHR system. And what that means is Rochester, the health system, Arizona, and Florida, we have 4 separate patient portals. And none of our portals are really aggregated. So that means if you're a patient in the health system and a patient in Rochester, to view your health system information, you have to access the health system patient portal. And to view your Rochester information, you have to access the Rochester patient portal. They're not combined and not aggregated. So it's not an ideal user experience. And our practice, our physicians, our care teams also have that problem as well. So Mayo, a few years back, made the decision that we are going to go with a different EHR for a different company. And currently we're in the process of transitioning to that new company. And the goal is by the end of 2018, all of the different sites, the health system, Rochester, Arizona, and Florida, would all be on one EHR. So the patient portal and the health system in Rochester, Arizona, and Florida will be the same. It will be the same experience for everyone. Currently, that is not the case. So that's the project. With this transition, the team I work for, with the patient portal, we have the ability to build a new patient portal. So the patient portal you all are currently interacting with, that's going to change drastically. So Barry, you made a face like it might not be good, but it's a great opportunity for us because now we're not constrained. We can be creative and we can come up with something that will really work for you. And we're hoping we can make something much better than what you currently have and much more user-friendly. So today, I want to talk to you all about what we are currently planning on doing for creating this new portal. To get your input on how you use a portal and what you think about our current vision. And then hopefully I can take all of your input. Charles and I can go back, we can continue to work, and in a few months we can come back and show you the process we've made and how much further we've gone down kind of the rabbit hole, and show you the process that we made, and hopefully we'll continue to do a better and better job. So today, first I just want to talk about staying out of the weeds. What I mean by that is I'm going to show you some prototypes of what we're thinking. What you're seeing, they're unfinished products. They're just basic skeletons of what we're thinking. We're just looking, they're ideas, and ideas of how we want to show and communicate information to the patients. So please don't think anything that you see here is a final state. It's not, it's a work in progress. So please don't be startled or afraid. It's not finished. We have a limited amount of time with PFAC groups, with interviewing our patients, and also for this project. The first go live, we have to have a new portal created for Wisconsin, for the health system, by the end of this year. So we really are crunched for time. So ideally we want to enable chat features and enable a lot of functionality that unfortunately we don't have time to do it short term. Long term we might get there. Short term we're kind of restricted. So I know all of you have a lot of great ideas and we want to hear them, but please understand that in the short term we can only make some incremental improvements. It will take a while for us to really get to that full vision of where we want to go. And please keep an open mind. If you have ideas, we want to hear them. Even if they're off the wall or if you think they're unrealistic. Maybe they're unrealistic today, but in a year from now, how technology is moving, it might be feasible. So please, if you have any ideas, thoughts, let us know. All right. So first I just kind of want to talk to everyone about how you engage the portal today. Last time I talked to you, it seemed like most of you had patient portal accounts. Quick hand raise, how many of you guys have patient portal accounts? So that's, I would say, it looks like about 90%, Charles, if you're taking notes. From up here, that's how it looks, okay? And how many of you have been seen at more than one site?
You mean like you do?
Yeah, I mean, in addition to Rochester, maybe you've been seen in the health system or a different Mayo Clinic site. So we have the health system, we have Rochester, we have Arizona, and we have Florida. Yes?
You don't mean like the main clinic and the Northeast clinic?
No. Those are just Rochester. Those are aggregated as Rochester. But I mean like maybe Cannon Falls or Eau Claire or Menominee, or there's many different sites around Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Even Caston?
Caston actually counts as Rochester as well. But if you've been seen, say, at Cannon Falls and at Rochester, then currently in the patient portal, when you put in your login information, you would have to select which portal you wanted to go to, either the health system or Rochester. It looks like most of you have only been seen in Rochester, so therefore you don't have to do this. But that's good for me to know. If you did have to select your site, then I'd like to ask some questions about that, but as no one, yes?
It still has me select Rochester, but that's the only
Option?
choice I have. Yeah, like I can't go into it until I select Rochester, but that's like my
Do you, you must have proxies? So
Yes.
you have proxies,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, my daughter.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's
Got it.
That's why, and that's a limitation with GE, with the platform that supports Rochester site where we have to have that happen. If you have been seen at multiple sites, then where Rochester's an option, it would say Florida, Arizona, or you would have more than one. Yeah,
Right there. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, and that's my next question is, do you have proxies? If you have proxies, what you just said was what I was going to ask. So, anyone else, do you have to select Rochester? Do you have permission to look at other people's accounts? Any caregivers or anyone with siblings or children? Yes, you do as well. Okay, so later on, I'm going to ask both of you some questions. I'm going to show you kind of what we're looking to do as far as switch patient goes. So right now, if you want to look at your information, then you have to switch patient to look at your daughter's. We have some ideas to make that easier. So I'm really interested to hear your feedback once we get there. Okay. How often do you all use patient online services? I remember Barry in January you told me you use it every week.
Pretty much.
Is that's still true?
Yeah, pretty much after I have a visit, an office visit or some, yeah, pretty much, because even if afterwards I sometimes get an update,
Mm-hmm.
the doctor goes revising the notes, so I sometimes go and see how it's going.
Okay. And do you get email ticklers to let you know that a revision has happened or something's been updated?
No, not
So you have to go in and find that yourself. So you have to keep checking to see if there's been any revisions.
yes,
Okay. Would you like to get an alert or some notification that a change has been made?
I mean, I'm going to look anyway, so that's not as important to me as some other things, like keeping, once you sign in with the ID, for example, I would love to be able to have that last for at least 2 hours without having to, every time I turn around and somebody asks me a question, I have to go in and just review the whole thing all over again.
Are you talking about mobile or what?
Mobile,
Mobile.
right.
You brought that up last time and I'm working on that for you. You brought up that and you also brought up clinical notes. How some clinical notes are not available and some others are.
That's right.
Both of those I remember very clearly, and we're working on it. With the clinical notes, it's a little more difficult, and I'll talk to you later about that. I just wanted to let you know.
I should mention is that we use the Mayo Clinic, like web, the online web. It's not very powerful, so sometimes it has trouble actually pulling up the Mayo Clinic online portal. I find it kind of interesting. I often have to turn off the Mayo Clinic web in order to actually use my regular non-Wi-Fi stuff in order just to get onto the account because it's not powerful enough. I do certain things like radiology reports now, which have so much detail, and it takes forever to open it. It seems like too large for the Mayo Clinic Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not sure how much I can do for that or do with that. We can take that down and we can look into that.
well, the speed.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. We'll definitely bring that up. I just wanted to let you know that the 2 points that you brought up previously, I remember and I've been working on them. Yep. So other people, Barry uses it every week. Other people, yes, question.
Well, I use it every week, and I think I brought this up in January, and it's still there. When you do send an email to alert to something, like a new appointment, if you're using the same email for 2 people in the family, you don't know who's supposed to get that. It would be nice if they would hyphen and put first names or something so you knew who it belonged to.
Are you sure they don't do that?
Yes, I'm sure they don't do that.
Okay, because, I'm sorry to interrupt, go ahead.
Especially I know when you have forms to fill out online,
Mm-hmm.
you go in and, well, is it mine? Oh no, I guess it's not mine, it must be his. And it takes time to go in and try to figure out what you're talking about.
Okay, so, all right. I remember you bringing that up, and I did bring that up to our team. But my understanding was that they did have, for upcoming appointments, the first name of the person in that email. Maybe that's not true, maybe I misheard that, but I can definitely check on that again.
When Jim has an upcoming appointment, it says James has an appointment in the next week.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Some things I think that may be true, but for example, if they want you to fill out more forms before you come in, I don't think in other cases it does show up.
Oh, okay, I can look into that. Again, from the previous PFAC, I believe the example was upcoming appointments. And that's where I went and asked. So when you brought it up again, because I double checked on that, so thank you for bringing that up. I will look into forums and maybe see where else we're not including an identifier, and we can work on correcting that.
With the forms specifically, I know sometimes I'll get something through my emails, and you have a form to fill out, which you can fill out online, and then I have trouble finding out what form and which one and where it is. So I usually just give up and wait till somebody else. Because it's just so hard to actually find exactly what form you're talking about.
Oh, thank you. We can definitely look into that. I can tell you with the new portal that we're building, as far as forms and questionnaires go, it will be a much more streamlined process. And when I get a little further into this, I think you'll be able to see and understand where we're going, and maybe some of these questions will be answered. You had your arm up.
I got a note once that said you have forms online to fill out. So I went on the portal, found the forms, and it said you have no forms to fill out.
That is not ideal. And, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm not sure. We can look into
It was a
that.
while back.
Okay.
Probably 6 months ago. It's probably been corrected.
But that's confusing, and that is not ideal. And again, when we get a little further in and I can show you kind of where we're going, I think you'll see how some of those things should be resolved or easier for you to navigate. But all of these comments are great. I see Charles writing very quickly in the back, so we appreciate all of these comments. If you could please hold your questions just for a few minutes and let me get a little further along. There's points where I really want all of your input. So I just want to get through these few questions fairly quickly here. So every week, how many others use a portal every week? You're on it every week? Every month?
I think my husband is on it
Every month, okay. Every 2 months? Oh, okay. And then every 6 months to a year? The rest of you. Okay, that's good information to know. What features are you interacting with most? Barry, you had mentioned clinical notes and appointments. Is that upcoming appointments or schedule an appointment?
No, I think I mentioned to you last time, I always have trouble scheduling appointments because you can't specify the doctor or the other or the time. But it has to do with, I try to find out something that I can get the room number and I try to find it that way.
Okay. And other people, what features do you use?
I use it to communicate back and forth with the department.
Secure messaging?
Yep.
Okay. And do you use well, that's my next, or I forgot to ask that question. Do you use web or mobile? Or
Mostly web.
mostly
Just
web?
haven't taken the time to check out the mobile.
Okay. And what other features, besides appointments, besides secure messaging, clinical notes, what other features are you utilizing? Yes?
I use the email, writing emails to the doctors. I have to do a test every week, and I send an email back with the result. That's really handy.
Okay. And what about like prescription refill?
Yep,
You do that? Okay. Questionnaires. There was a few forms or questionnaires, I should say. How many use the questionnaires or forms? How many of you fill out the forms on the portal? No? You prefer to wait and get it in the mail to do it? Okay, is that just a usability issue? Because it's too difficult to use to figure out to do the questionnaires, or is it just a convenience?
Well, it's hard to request it on a mobile device. If you're using it on a regular computer, it's, first of all, I can't find it, so it's just hard to do. It's easy to check it for me, to just check it off. If it was easy to do, maybe I would, but
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Okay. Yes?
Well, I use the forms, but like this lady down here said, I have had times, and I think that's what I was mentioning on email, where it'll say you have forms to fill out, but it doesn't say who for. So I go in and I look at mine, then I look at my husband's, and I look at mine again, and I can't figure out who's supposed to fill out forms.
Yeah, and that's an issue we should resolve. We should, in that email notification, or that prompter, we should let you know exactly what that form is and who should fill it out. Yes?
Is it, if you're sharing an email for multiple people, would that cause the forms not to be identified for which patient it is?
That
That's part
is what I'm thinking plays a role. So then it makes it a little bit more difficult, but I think there's a way where we should be able to figure that out. So I'm hoping we can resolve that issue, because some people and some families use a household email address, and that situation, which I assume is your situation, having some identifier in that message would help and alleviate, you going in your account or his account and just the time that's needed to do that. You had a question or a comment? Yes.
Oh, the one time I was gonna fill the forms out online is when I couldn't find them.
So that turned you off now?
Well, I
Yeah.
haven't had any fill outs.
Oh, okay. I would suggest you try to do it online. I think it's easier for everyone. I think it's more convenient for the patient and the practice. So I would.
Just another thing, when they send you the blurb, they're saying you have a form to fill out, why don't they just have the form attached so you can just fill it out directly? In the email, why do you have to go to another site to actually fill out? Why don't they just attach it?
Because it's not secure, and we cannot send anything that has any potential patient information through email. The portal is secure, and messaging through the portal is secure. There's no risk of anyone hacking or getting into that data. So.
For people that don't care about that, is there any way of waiving that so you can get it directly?
No.
I'd rather not have to say it. Let anyone, just give me my information, I have to sign it.
That we have a whole security department. That is a question for them, but I don't think that's possible. I think we take a lot of pride in our reputation of being a very secure organization, and again, at times it might make things a little bit more complex, but at the end of the day, we feel that patients knowing that their information is safe and secure justifies the complexity involved. So other features, medications, anybody view medications or allergies, immunizations? Yes?
I think whatever update they did to the medications works much better now, like with the list, and you just kind of check which one you want to go in your cart, instead of where you had to have the bottle in front of you and you had to type in the number. Whenever that update went out, I think that's much nicer now that they have the list and you just check off what you want and put it in your cart.
Okay.
So, all the information's already there. You don't have to make sure that your prescription number lines up and then maybe that's the right prescription number because it didn't verify what you were ordering before.
Okay, thank you. Great feedback. Express Care, has anyone here, have you visited an Express Care site? We have 2 in Rochester, 1 heavy north, heavy south. No? Express Care,
A while back, yeah.
a while back, yeah. Did you book the appointment through the portal or just go
Well,
in?
This was 8 years ago?
Okay.
Yeah, almost 8 years ago, so,
A long time ago.
yeah.
Express Care Online, has anyone used Express Care Online? Or e-visits? No? No. Okay. There's a lot of functionality in the patient portal. It sounds like everyone here kind of knows what they want or has a few features that they really utilize. With where we're going, the amount of features that we're going to offer to you is going to increase quite a bit. And I would suggest in the future being open to exploring or learning about additional features, because we're doing and we're making available a lot of new features that could benefit you and your healthcare and how you handle your healthcare. So moving forward, when we do make the change to the portal, it's really exciting because we are going to increase a lot of the functionality within the portal. So that's just a few comments. What are your frustrations? So the policy was created to try to help and protect patients. I understand it might be frustrating for certain patients. Currently that is a policy and it does get reviewed. I remember you asking that question. I came prepared. So that is the situation. So now we can move on to the new portal. And this is our vision for the new portal. We want to provide Mayo Clinic patients the means to easily engage and consume the necessary information to play a proactive role in their health care. So we want to equip all of our patients with data on their health care, as well as tools where they can stay healthy, preventive care, as much and as many tools as possible so that our patients are healthy and can stay healthy, and as easy as possible as well. With this, we have 3 main driving principles. The first one is personalization. We want your portal to be your portal. How many of you have Facebook accounts? Quite a few of you. On Facebook, it's your own. You kind of make that page into your own. Your email, Google, Gmail does that too. We want to give you you download the mobile app and you already have your photo on it.
Except for it's not showing up.
Except it's not showing up.
It says me, but my picture's not there. So I thought maybe it's an overnight feed or something. Could be.
I'll look into it.
I'll let you know tomorrow if I don't see my picture.
Let me know. But we want to offer ways for you to make it your own. So Barry's portal is Barry's portal. And it's not just very sterile application. We want you to be able to make it your own. And the way we're looking at doing that is with photos, proxy to, so your daughter, ways for you to easily identify when you're looking at your information, when you're looking at your daughter's information. Right now it's just change patient, and the only thing that changes is basically the name. We want to make it easier for people. Some people have large families where they have a lot of proxies and it can get confusing. And also with widgets. And what I mean by that is, how do I, give it just 1 minute.
That's just Pandora. Uh-oh.
Charles, did you make a change to it?
No.
Is it external?
Yeah,
Let me send you.
it was working too.
And you
minutes
can
ago.
close that Pandora. You can X out of that, if that helps you.
It was literally working 2 minutes ago.
Weird.
Yeah, if you could send
Oh.
me that, Charles, that would be great. I can show you this. This is kind of what I mean by widgets. So this is a different patient portal that's out there that we're looking to get some inspiration. And the way they have their homepage is that they have messaging. They have appointments. They have ask a question. They have forms or questionnaires. They have bill pay, prescriptions, all available right on that dashboard. So when you hit that homepage, right now in Rochester, we have a lot of links, and then there's hovers, right, on the website. There's a lot of information for you to read and disseminate and figure out where you want to go. We're looking to do something similar to this to make it very easy and clear and guide you and let you know where you want to go. Charles, did you send it?
Yep.
Did you send it to my email?
Nope, I sent it to Fran.
So if you hop in,
You mind, Fran?
not at all, I told him to. So it should be on the top. There's no link.
One sec.
I apologize. The link worked 2 seconds ago.
Bam. There it goes.
Okay, so what I mean by personalization of the widgets is right here in this area, these 3 boxes, these are widgets, just like what I showed you. Here. So we are looking to put the most access features that we have as clickable widgets on the homepage. So, Barry, if you like looking at upcoming appointments, that, I know it says request an appointment, but we're planning on having upcoming appointments as a widget right there. So when you log in, right on the homepage, you can just click upcoming appointments and get a list of all your upcoming appointments.
Would it do it automatically, or do you have to go through all kinds of menus?
One click and you're there. Okay, one click upcoming appointments. One click clinical notes as well. So you click on clinical notes and your clinical notes will populate. Test results, one click and you're in test results as well. Our plan, I know there's 3 clinical notes there. Our plan is to have 4, or not 3 widgets there. Our plan is to have 4 static widgets, the most used features. So upcoming appointments, inbox, clinical notes, and test results. Those would be our 4 main widgets on the page, and those would not change. However, underneath here, you see there's 4 spots for widgets right here. What we are looking to do to make it a more personalized experience, we would like you to be able to select which widgets you find most valuable and be able to put them onto your portal page. So Barry, if you like paying your bills via the patient portal, you could put bill pay here. So a widget for bill pay. That means anytime you land on the patient portal, you don't have to go through the menu to find the bill pay that you want. You could click directly from the homepage. So you don't have to go through 3 menus or, 4 clicks. You can just pin it to your homepage, so then you have direct access to that feature. Prescriptions or prescription refill could be another one. Medications, immunizations, whatever features we offer, we want to make it available for you to put on your homepage. Does that seem like something that would be valuable to you or would be something you would utilize?
Yeah.
No, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it reminds
yes.
me of like an iPhone where you can pick what apps they have static ones, but then you get to pick which ones you want to see and use every day on your home screen. So that would be nice.
That would be other yeses, yes, you think?
Yes.
Yeah. What we were planning on doing is for the first, and Fran, this monitor,
Is weird.
yeah.
What's it doing?
Okay, I fixed it.
Thank you.
For the first, when you first log in, what we're planning to do is, like here they have 6 widgets. Again, we're planning to have 8. Originally, what we were planning to do is to have the 4 most used features as the top row. And then the bottom row would be the second or 5 or 4 through 8, the second most used features. And then if you wanted to, you could drag a new feature and replace an existing feature and customize it how you want it. So when you first log in, there won't be just gaps or empty space. Everything will be filled, but we would instruct you that if you wanted to replace anything on this bottom row, you would have the ability to do that with any features or functionality you would want. Does that make sense?
You couldn't move the top 3 around. If you said, I don't like those on the top, I want them on the bottom.
No, you couldn't. The top would be static, but the 4 top hitters that we have, that we know that a lot of our patients like. Ideally, we want to get to a phase where this whole page would be customizable and personalizable, but at first we were planning just to explore with the bottom row.
Just so I understand, are there gonna be many other features that will not be on the rows? Are you adding features?
Yes, there's going to be about 43, at least 43 features in the new portal. A lot of new features. So instead of overwhelming you and having everything on the homepage or links to everything on the homepage similar to how it is now, what our plan is to have a menu here, and the way the menu would work is anything to do with appointments would be under the appointment header. I touched it and something happened. Fran?
What? When did something go away?
Yes.
Just go to home.
Okay, so Barry, to answer your question, all of these options under appointments you would have the ability to pin them down here. However, if they weren't an option here, the only way you can get to them is through the menu. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5 options here. Out of all of these different items, there's going to be 42 options. So each menu will expand quite a bit.
How many are there now?
Quite a bit less, but there's still, I would say there's probably 25 to 30 different features that we have available right now. But most of our patients, and from the information I've gathered here tonight, you don't utilize a lot of the features and functionality that we offer right now. most people like a few of those features, right? And everyone has their own personal preference. So that's why we would like you to have the ability to customize your portal to how you would like it. Okay, Fran, can you, oh, never mind, I got it.
Got it?
All right, so that goes to the personalization. The second piece is navigation. I just kind of showed you what we're looking at. Right now, navigation in the Rochester portal, you have drop-down menus where you have to hover over it, and then the menu it's a drop-down, and then you have to click or find exactly where you want to go. If you don't use drop-down menus, then we have links in the middle of the page that direct you where you want to go as well. From feedback in engaging other patients and from looking online, many patients don't like, and users in general, don't like hover menus. Because if you don't hover over it exactly, then you miss it and you gotta wait and then find the link, and it's just, it's difficult. So we wanna make navigation easier for people. And the way we decided to do that is, one, by utilizing icons. So this is a house, obviously that's home, right? It's very easy, very intuitive that if you're going someplace, you're in clinical notes, you wanna go back. How do you go back? You click home and that will bring you back. Appointments, a calendar, messaging, an envelope, immunizations, a needle, medications, a pill. Think icons, we're looking at using icons to help patients know exactly where they should go to figure out what they need. We're also looking at keeping this menu visible at all times. So if I'm going in clinical notes, this menu stays right here. So if I'm in clinical notes and now I want to go to appointments, it should be very simple for me to click where I want to go within. Yes, go ahead.
In terms of either appointments or especially with clinical notes, is there any way of, like, if you wanted to just look at a particular doctor or a particular department's clinical notes, we'll be able to do that? Because it'd be nice if I could just get, like I'm a diabetic, and I'd like to be able to see just the endocrinologist's clinical notes without having to go through 5 years of everything else, or 7 years or something. So I'm just wondering if there's some way of actually pinning it down so you could actually look at just a particular department or just a particular doctor.
We're looking at enabling a sort. So within clinical notes, you could sort via the department or via the description. But that, we're working on that. Barry, it's really interesting that you bring that point up, because previously I was engaging the Eau Claire PFAC group, and what they asked is these configurable widgets on the bottom, would it be possible to build a widget for the different providers? For example, Dr. Erickson. Could we have a widget for Dr. Erickson and all the clinical notes, all the results, all the messaging, everything from Dr. Erickson? Could that be aggregated and consolidated in one widget that they could pin on their homepage? That was a suggestion that we received from the Eau Claire feedback. So it seems like quite a few of our patients are thinking along those lines as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love on the blood test where it shows the history. Although it's different, I think, on the computer one versus the handheld one. I think the history notes are different on those two. So I hopefully they'll have more information rather than less on that.
Okay, and then the graphing, do you like how you can see the graph with the result on the same page?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I wish I could go back further, because I think they limited it to 3 years. I wanted to go back 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But I'm just saying, they
I'll look into that as far as look back period. But I can tell you that unfortunately with our new system for labs, and especially blood work, that we will still have graphing, but unfortunately the graphing will be on a separate page from the result. So to see your historical data, you're gonna have to toggle between two different pages. We will try to make it as easy as possible. So navigation, again, just to reiterate, navigation is a big piece. And we're looking at building icons or creating icons, having text to correlate with those icons, and then having this menu available at all times. So once you learn the menu and learn how to navigate the menu, it should be easy for you at all times to know exactly where you are and to figure out how to get home and to the other pages you need. So there'll be the widgets, the 4 main widgets, and then the personalized widgets on the lower level, and then this navigation menu that's going to be static. Now, having this navigation menu static, so whatever page you go to, this is available. Is that something that you find will be beneficial? Or all of you use the Rochester portal, do you find the hover menus, does anyone really like the hover menus, or do you have questions about the menuing that I'm displaying right now? Yes.
I don't really like the hover menus, but you said there's gonna be like 43 features. If you have all of those showing up, I don't know, it might just be harder to read if all 43 features are listed out on the left-hand side of the screen.
No, thank you for bringing that up, because that's great, a great clarifying point. So the way we're looking at solving that issue, because we don't want all of those issues to be viewable at one time. So the way we're looking at it is when you click on a main menu item, like home, appointments, message center, billing, immunizations, medications, these are main menu items, right? When you click on a main menu item, it would expand and show you all of the sub features. And then if you click again, it would contract. So not all of the features would be visible. You would have to click the menu item, and only then would that, so if you click message center, all of the different functionality or features related to message center, that would expand and show you all of those options. If you didn't want any of those options, you could click message center again and it would retract, or you could click billing and then message center would automatically retract and billing would expand. So one of our principles is we don't want you to have to scroll and keep on scrolling to read or find information. We want everything to be within this one view. So that menu will expand, but everything would stay in that one screen view, so you don't really have to scroll.
So just the ones that are up now would be the ones that would stay there until you click on them.
Correct.
No matter if you went into something in appointments, it would still
I'm a little
just.
confused.
Yeah.
with that. So what are you saying about scrolling ahead? So how do you get to the other visit summaries?
Okay. So within visit summaries, there would be, if you have more than one page, we would put arrows so you could go to the second page, or we'd look at scrolling in that situation. However, for this home page, we don't want you to have to scroll to find additional information. We want to be able to present you with everything within this home page.
For a person that's not tech savvy, this is sounding good to me.
Good.
I'll tell you that.
Thank you. We're trying to make it as intuitive and easy as possible. So I appreciate that feedback. And then engagement. This is our next piece. How can we get you active? Alerts is a big piece. Barry, I was asking you if it would be beneficial for you to get alerts whenever a change is made to your clinical note or any update like that. ma'am, you had mentioned about receiving an email about having a form, and then you went on the portal, it told you to go on the portal, and then it said you didn't have any forms. I believe, Miss, you had that same issue. We are looking to resolve that, and the way we're looking to resolve that, Charles, do you know if this has Lissandro's? Because the one I had originally did, but okay, I can tell everybody. The way we're looking to do that is similar to what happens on Facebook right now. I know some of you said you have Facebook, but whenever you have a notification, or if anyone tagged you in a photo or liked something that you post, right? There's a little badging, or there's a little identification to let you know that there's been some activity, correct? Mm-hmm. What we're looking to do, see, now it worked, Charles. I don't know why it was broken the first time. What we're looking to do is something like this. So this bell up here that I just clicked on, this bell would be on the top of your portal page. In the banner, and if this blue button was there, that would indicate that you have an alert. And then you would go and you click on that, and it would let you know you have a new message, or you have a form to fill out, or you have a new bill, or there's been an update made to your billing, something like this. So anytime there was an update or something new in your account, you would be alerted and you would know as soon as you sign in what that was. So here, Barry, it would say maybe a change has been made to a clinical note. Then you would click on that alert, and that would navigate you directly to that page. So if it told you you have a new form to fill out, you would click on that where that alert told you that you had a new form, and that would bring you directly to that form. So your question about an email, why don't you attach it? Well, this is a way to mitigate that. So as soon as you sign in, you click here, oh, you have a new form. Instead of having to go and figure out what form it is and where it's located, you could just click that alert button, and that would route you directly to where you needed to go. Does that make sense?
It would if you were to maybe do things like this, but I'm not sure if it's, I don't use it to go and that's another time to change to a bill or like you're saying there's 44 different things
Widgets.
in there. Can you turn off that feature on some of the things, or do we have to have all 44 of them? And we might be getting messages all day long, depends on whether it's especially billing.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Charles, did you hear that comment?
Can you restate it?
Barry is saying that some of the alerts might not apply to him. Is there any way where he could set his preference for those alerts, the ones that he doesn't find that are applicable or meaningful to him?
Well,
So,
we've talked about having a preference toggle for that, but we can lean toward not.
mm-hmm.
Because we don't have the ability with the current structure to discern good from bad alerts.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking as well. We've been talking about being able to have preferences there. This is a discussion that's been ongoing. We'll work more on that. There might be some feasibility issues with doing that. But from our standpoint right now, we think by giving you these alerts, we're enabling you to be more proactive within your portal.
That's a good thing, even for things like you're due to have a vaccination or something.
And that would be an alert.
Those would be preventative measures, those are good things to have on the list. I was just worried that there might be, people might wind up having 100 alerts, you know, and then they spend all day long just trying to get rid of them, you know. And
Yeah, they're there's a potential for quite a few alerts, especially you have a daughter, if you have several children, or if you had more than one child and you're sending secure messaging for each of your different proxies to many different doctors, anytime you receive the message back, you're getting an alert. So there's potential where people will be bombarded with alerts.
I agree with that. I'm more worried about, like, I have Medicare. Now, if you ever look at the Medicare account summary notice, what you see is that there may be 30 times that my billing record is updated in the accounts department, which I don't really need to know about every time Medicare negotiates something different with mail. I wouldn't want that to come up as an alert, because then all day long I'd be getting alerts. So I just think you have to look at what the alert is about, like especially bills.
Okay, that's great feedback. My plan, I'm back, right? I came in January, I told you I'd be back. Fran was gracious enough to invite me back. I plan to come back quite a bit, Barry. When we go live and you're getting alerts, if you have issues, I expect you to let me know so then we can improve the product, continually improve the product. I agree, alerts are a good thing. But, you know, out of the gate, there might be issues, or we might not have it perfect. And perfection is really, really a high bar to get to. We're striving for it. So any feedback you have later, once we roll out, please let us know and we'll do our best.
Can the widgets be related to the alerts and only that?
Well, see, that's a good question, and that did come up earlier. What we were thinking, and what I was thinking was, a lot of people use Facebook, a lot of people use email, and a lot of people are used to this bell with badging and a way for the alerts, because you might get a lot of alerts. We were thinking that this would be a way people are used to and would be easy for them to consume alerts. But we also did talk about having alerts be a separate widget for people to pin. So that's a good point. I think we need to talk more about that. Is that something you think would be beneficial to have it as a widget?
Like associated with the widget.
Possibly, I hadn't gone that far thinking.
I was just thinking with that, like now on the mobile app, like under appointments, if you have an appointment and it just has like the number 1, like in a red circle, could you do that on the widgets? Like still have it separate? Like if you have upcoming appointments as one of your widgets, then have the notification on there instead of like them all together at the top, like separate them depending on what widgets you have, or like them hanging on the left.
That came up. I think the trouble or the problem with that is that initially you're only going to have 8 widgets. So if you have a lot of billing, for example, billing alerts, and billing's not one of your widgets, that menu, you know, we're going to have to give some indication. And it could be overload, especially there's a few people who said they only use the portal every 6 months or every year. So if there's a lot of changes, then when they land on this page, there's going to be numbers all over the screen, and that might be overwhelming. So that's a really good point. We've looked at that. That's kind of why, the reason I just explained is kind of why we're looking at aggregating and putting everything in one location, if that makes sense.
You can also get like a little brochure or manual which you can give out here at the clinic to people, so that if there's any questions, they can actually refer to the manual. Because unlike my smartphone here, it took me really intuitive. The iPhone is really, and I actually had to buy a manual in the store because I couldn't figure it out. So I'm just wondering if you could actually have some kind of booklet or brochure or something that we could give out from the internet.
We are working on training materials, I can tell you one other thing that we really want to do is we want to provide guidance. So we want someplace on the screen, we want to be able to tell you exactly how to use the portal, what to use it for. For example, if you're going to upcoming appointments, we want to let you know what, if you click, let me go here, I'm sorry. If you click clinical notes, someplace on the screen, we want to be able to give a short description of what clinical notes are. Some guidance there to let the user know, okay, this is what clinical notes are, this is when I should use them. Actually, I'm not looking for a clinical note, I'm looking for a test result, right? Because we want to make it intuitive, and that's one aspect we're looking at solving that issue. But your suggestion about a booklet,
I'm talking about something where, like, if you're talking about widgets and all this stuff, and I mean, widgets isn't even a term that I'm actually familiar with. I guess I'm a little too old for like all of that stuff. But I'm just saying, I just think you're going to need people, something to help people through this a little bit more.
okay, and we're aware of that. I think the booklet's a good idea. I know we're looking at making YouTube videos as well, and doing some things, doing some tutorials on the portal itself. Like some apps will show you like step 1, step 2, step 3 of how to use that app. We're looking to do some of that as well on the portal, but that's a very valid point.
The problem with the YouTube thing is that you can't actually open up the portal and follow it along. You know, it's hard to watch two things at the same time, so sometimes I think it's better that somebody in print when you're actually trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, and if we did YouTube videos, we would embed them in the page. So you wouldn't have to go to YouTube, you could watch the video while you're still in the portal.
Right, but if it's a 10-minute video and you're trying to do step by step, it's kind of hard to do. It's easy to do that if there's something right in front of you as you're trying to do steps. And doing a YouTube video, again, if it's just like 30 seconds, it's one thing, but a 5-minute or 10-minute video, it's kind of hard to follow all that when you have to take notes anyway.
No, that's great feedback, and we'll definitely have some written materials to go with the new portal. The next piece with the alerts is integration with health devices. So we're looking at integrating with Fitbits, with blood pressure monitors, with blood sugar monitor, with a few different devices out there. So you can track your health through the patient portal, and it will sync to different devices. We're thinking this is a great way to help push engagement. Withering scales. So if your doctor wants you to gain weight or lose weight every day when you get on that scale, that's automatically feeding into the patient portal. So you can go, and one of the features will be to track your health, and you can go and click and see, you know, day by day how you're doing. And that again would be a widget. Track your health would be a widget that if you felt it was important, and if you're utilizing it on a daily basis or a weekly basis, you could put or pin directly to your homepage.
How are you going to do that with things like blood pressure logs, and diabetes logs, and stuff like that?
That's our goal. At first, it's going to be much smaller, but our goal is to integrate with many devices. There's one organization I know out there that is syncing with over 70 devices, and that's what we're aspiring to. We want to be able to sync with as many as possible. All right, so the last piece is functions. Prioritization and new functions are two keys. Prioritization, what I mean by that is that because we are releasing so many new features and functions, we are going to pin the top 8 on this page. The top 4 will not be movable, but the bottom 4, our patients, you all will have ability to prioritize as you want. So you'll be able to pin the features that you feel are important to your page and make your page Barry's page if you want. Or Fran's page. And then the new features, like I said, we're looking at 42, 43 new, or the total of 43 features. A lot of those will be new. So there's going to be a lot to learn and a lot to explore with, and we're hoping that these additional tools will be useful and offer some utility in managing and handling your healthcare. And again, the vision is to be able to give you the tools to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, finally, again, I'll just show you. This is some inspiration. This is a different organization that's out there. They went very simple. They thought a very simple and clean looking patient portal would be the best for their patients. And they've done very well, and they're rated very high, and have won some awards for going this way.
Wow.
This is another patient portal that's out there. Their menuing is very innovative. This is kind of the template that we're looking at improving upon, but it's very similar where you will click and then it will expand, you'll double click and it will contract. So if you're offering a lot of features or functions, we don't want to make that available to you because that's a long list and it's overwhelming, and then you have to read 42 different names and decide where to go. We want to give you the ability to figure it out and navigate how you want to navigate without being overwhelmed. All right, so thank you again, Fran, for letting me come. This is just an update of where we're going. The plan is in 2017, we will launch our new portal in Wisconsin and Minnesota, the health systems, not Rochester. Rochester will be in 2018. So between now and launching in Rochester, I plan to come back and engage with you all again once we get further along to show you some more better prototypes so you can better understand where we're going and get your input. And if we're missing the mark, please let me know so then we can kind of change course or make the necessary, adapt as necessary so that we know when we launch in Rochester, we're satisfying all of your needs and expectations.